UConn welcomes the number 24 team in the country to town. That's the Drexel Dragons, coming off multiple straight NCAA tournament appearances. UConn wants to get back to the land that under 14th-year head coach Katie Woods they have gotten to so many times before.
Categories offensively, goals, assists, and points. 10th in the NCAA in points per game at 5.21. So now they're really going to have to clamp down defensively and try to get some unexpected production.
They find it with the first goal of the season belonging to Allison Drake, one of their quad captains, and Drake puts the Dragons up 1-0.
Yeah, Drake, just a sprint to the net there, a powerful move. That one goes over the top of Cini. Good move there, lowering the left shoulder to get some separation, and Drake finishes it up. 40 goals last year, 54.8% at the shooting percentage. So that's a good way to nice start to replace Bednarik's production.
Yeah, that is absolutely the person that you might turn to and think, okay, if there is someone that can chip away at some of what was lost, that Drake would be that person. But it was, like you said, a sprint to the net. Nice job working her way past Abby Barron.
Also last year, they lose 24 goals from Alex Wall as well. So 2 goal scorers graduating for Drexel. Like we mentioned, team averaging only 12 goals per game, 25.6 shots. They allowed more shots than they got last season, but that just goes to show how sound they are structurally on their back end, especially it helps when you have one of the best goaltenders in the nation in Cuoco.
Barlow Clark shaved. Looked like she had initially gotten that draw control, but a nice job by Kate Quinn to retreat and force the turnover. Speaking of turnovers, here it is for UConn. This is Rhea Davis with an opportunity to set things up for the Huskies. Megan O'Brien, one of the first subs in off the bench for UConn, wearing that home white. Davis pivots, shot, rings the pipe. They had gotten it past Cuoco, but it stays out, and Cuoco traps it in the crease.
Quick release there from the right outside the 8-meter for Rhea Davis. Take a look here.
Possession still stays for UConn. And so we've seen it almost work a couple of times on Cuoco. A sidearm delivery, and that one's banged home. Eve McGrogan, first of the season for UConn, levels the score.
And in our conversation with head coach Woods this week, she mentioned as McGrogan a name that could step up now in her sophomore year, and she does just that. You'll notice, where does she go? High on Cuoco. The previous 2 shots that beat her, off the high part of the post and the crossbar, the previous 2, high shots. So maybe this is a trend. UConn trying to find that piece where they can exploit Cuoco where there's not much room to exploit her.
Oriented teams. The big question mark in this one was, what would UConn look like defensively with the new goalie? 7th in the country last year in save percentage. A low shot and a score. Give it to McGrogan again.
So, head coach Katie Wood asks and she shall receive. Who's going to step up this year with the big turnover and loss in goal-scoring production? It's been McGrogan, the sophomore out of Nyack, New York. And this time, instead of going high like they did with the previous 3 attempts, one of them beat McGrogan, the other one beats her on the bounce.
Free position here. Drexel looks to its bench. It's Ellie Wall seeing with 64 seconds on the shot clock. Okay, do I take this, coach, or what do we do here?
They like to work it back to set up this man advantage. Let's see if they go to the net. They will.
And she scores. Wall delivers with the player advantage, and Drexel makes this a 1-goal game.
So the free positions, eventually they mount up. I mean, that was like 4 or 5 on that possession alone. And eventually they're able to beat Cini.
Haven't seen a goal in this quarter. Again, that fits the storyline we anticipated coming in.
And you got the combination of both these teams that are very sound defensively. And also, like I mentioned, game 1 of the season. So both these teams getting back into the swing of things.
Finley, save, no score. Cini gets a piece of it. That one was there for UConn's goalie, and Finley instead ties this thing at 3.
Just way too much running room for Bridget Finley that UConn's allowed. Wide open gap down the middle. She bluffs the shot, draws the one defenseman, gets a little bit more space. Maybe one that Cini would want back, but nonetheless, a great run by Finley. The redshirt senior out of Downingtown, Pennsylvania, evens this one up.
Hunkering down as snow gets ready to descend on the northeast and the mid-Atlantic. Rhea Davis puts UConn back ahead.
Ray Davis had 44 of those last year, gets her first this year, and it was all started. The pass was just behind Davis, so Davis is cutting towards the net, and the pass she receives is behind her, so she has to go with a little bit of extra extension and still able, with that extension, to reach back. Watch, just reach a little bit back there to retrieve it, and in stride, no less. Did not slow her down at all, and falling in stride, gets the ball into the net.
We got a whistle. Contact to the hand of Davis.
Davis had two great chances this quarter alone. Both of them better stops by Cuoco. Third time was the charm on that man advantage.
No opportunity to shoot. Now she does, and she buries it. Back-to-back goals from Rhea Davis.
Davis, her sixth shot of the game. This quarter, I just was talking about how she had denied twice in a row by Cuoco. Now the last two has gone to Davis. And she got on the fake there. She drew the defender to kind of park it. It was Cameron Ryan who was in front of Davis. Davis did that quick bluff. Ryan bit on it, planted her feet, and due to that plant, Davis dips around, gets a clear lane of sight to the goal. 5-3 Huskies.
Kept in by Davis, but she was pressured unknowingly from behind. The takeaway by Cameron Ryan.
Yeah, she definitely did not know what was behind her because that was a very casual pullback.
Buckley. Shot, score. That's Bridget Finley with her second. Drexel comes out firing here in the third.
And that's a perfectly executed odd man rush on the counter. All alone in front was Finley, and she buries it. Yeah, nobody there. It's a 3-on-2. Not much for Cini to do.
This is Barron on defense for UConn. Allison Drake charges in and scores. She started the scoring today, and now she's tied this game at 5.
And they gave up too much on the inside there. We'll take a look at the replay. Which Husky defender was this? Just gave up too much on the inside. You see right there. So there's Drake working to the right. And then, yeah, JoJo Gum just gave too much on the inside. And see what UConn can make of their first now even strength possession of the quarter.
Shot, score. Eliza Bowman's been quiet, but not here in this third quarter.
Bowman had 28 goals last year. Will pick up her first of the season here in the third quarter. And it's a quick release. Cut to the net. Catch, release. And they beat Cuoco. Cuoco expecting that one to be a little bit higher. You see the sticks up and the leap by Cuoco. And the ball just sank like a sinker, like a pitcher on the mound. Just a sinking shot.
It was just game 1 of the season, but these kind of games matter with at-large selection committee. As Drake comes up with a hat trick, she's got this game tied.
The hat trick goal is the best of them all. That is one for the highlight reel. And again, UConn not giving the inside lane, but getting beat on the inside lane here. A nifty move from right to left. So 20 in blue and yellow, right to left, gets the inside, able to beat Olivia Marlowe, and then get in tight on Cini to tie it up once again.
Led for only 3 minutes and 44 seconds here today. Otherwise, the game has been tied or in UConn's favor. Great feed in front and a beautiful finish. Davis gets the assist. It's Jardina with her second.
Jardina was creeping around that crease area, trying to find an opening down low, and Rhea Davis found her. And again, the Cini save leads to a UConn goal as Jardina loses her defender and Emma Nikolic, and the lead is back to 1.
Beautiful move. Gragnani scores. Great response from the Dragons as they've tied it. Gragnani shut down. Finley dodges once, twice, and scores. She's got a hat trick, and Drexel leads for the first time since early in the first.
We have dueling hat tricks with Drake and Finley. This time they work in to out, right to left. So right to left in the third quarter, out to in, now right to left in the fourth quarter. And they flip it. Another turnover on the offensive side of the field. It's been the common theme now the opening almost 5 minutes.
Here's a break-in, shot, and score. B. Buckley has given Drexel its first multi-goal lead of the game.
UConn looks to be calling a timeout right now to really slow things down. Another turnover. They had 5 in the third quarter. The ball has just been going very loose for UConn in their own end. And then how does Bay Buckley get that open space running with all of UConn defenders back?
In front, back to a one-goal game. Bernash comes up with her first.
And Bernash with a beautiful switch there, catching that on her strong side and a quick transition and spin, using the spin of her back to peel off the defender. There's the spin, there's the transition, and the finish left-handed.
Are giving Davis every inch she's earned. The shot and score. This game is tied. Rhea Davis delivers.
She got the nod of approval, take this one to the net, and it was pretty uncontested as the defense did not really crowd her as much. Last second, maybe the sticks got a little close, but Davis goes low on Cuoco, and we got a tie game with 4:04 left. Timeout, they drop a pass. Again, the sloppy ball movement continues.
McGrogan steps her way in. She wins it. Caps off the hat trick and caps off a win for UConn. They begin 2025 with a top 25 victory.
And the timeout pays off. They recover after the drop pass, and McGrogan does it herself, beats her defender down the middle, bounce of shooting space, and beats Cuoco. A lead that they lost in the third quarter. They come back. They held on for dear life in the final 2 minutes, down 2 players. A big save, a big defensive stand, and they get the overtime winner. Big win for UConn to kick off the 2025 season.